Hello everyone, welcome to Dachshund Place. We would love our mama to share our story with you today. I'm Barney, and I'm Fred. We hope you enjoy our story. On September 4th, 2021, I received a text message from my uncle, who is an important part of Pet Rescue Network of St. Louis, Missouri metropolitan area. He asked if my husband and I would take in 2 dogs. I, of course, said sure, we would love to foster 2 dogs, because we were thinking about getting a dog soon. The dogs had kennel cough and needed somewhere to stay while they were recovering from the illness. Then, my uncle texted the person who was taking care of them for the 3 weeks before coming to live with us. When Barney and Fred, who are 2 dachshunds, got dropped off, they knew this would be their forever home. As Barney barked at my husband, telling him thank you for taking him and his brother in for a while. Since they came to our house late on September 4th, 2021, we call September 5th, 2021 their official gotcha day. They were only supposed to live with us until they recovered from kennel cough. Well, 3 days in, we fell in love with their cuteness and entertaining antics. Then we asked the Pet Rescue Network if they were up for adoption, and sure enough, they were. Their previous owner asked if they both could stay together and not be separated as they were litter mates. We then knew that we really wanted them to live with us and be a part of our family. We could not say goodbye to Barney and Fred. They didn't want to say goodbye to their foster parents either. So on September 26, 2021, they were officially adopted. As I was signing their paperwork, I read that they were originally from Licking, Missouri. I was so happy to hear that because my husband's family used to have a cabin in Licking, Missouri, and it was in the family since 1972. My husband and I would visit every spring and summer until the cabin washed away during a big flood in 2017. We knew then that Barney and Fred were meant to live with us. In the past 3 years, Barney and Fred have had lots of adventures. Where do I begin? Well, in November 2021, my husband's ice hockey friend told him that Barney and Fred needed a Facebook page so people could follow their adventures. So then I set them up a Facebook on November 24th, 2021. Starting out, they only had 100 followers. Today, they have 12,349 followers and growing. My husband and I owe his friend a big thank you for suggesting that we create a Facebook page to show everyone in the world their daily adventures. In late December 2021, we noticed that Barney was having a difficult time walking and was scooting around the house. We were very concerned that something was wrong. So we then called their vet to see if we could get him in to see the doctor. They were unfortunately booked. So we then took him to the emergency vet clinic. We then found out that Barney had IVDD and then learned dachshunds were prone to that. So we then crate trained Barney and he had to rest a lot. So after he recovered from IVDD, we decided that we should have them in a kennel while we were away. Then I decided that we needed to adapt the house for Barney and Fred. I had dogs growing up as a child, and they never experienced IVDD. So this was my first time experiencing this with a dog. We wanted to make sure Barney and Fred felt at home when they came to live with us. They had free reign of their house with their previous owner. We set up a baby gate that they could use to stay safe. Well, they unfortunately knocked that down pretty quick while we were gone for a long period of time. We then decided that them being in their kennel would be a much safer option. As Barney was recovering, I talked with his doctor about his health. I grew up with dogs, but I never had a dog that was prone to IVDD. So I wanted to make sure Barney was getting the best care possible. I then scheduled an appointment for Barney to see if there was something else going on. Because when the boys came to live with us, we noticed that Barney's back was arched and Fred's was not. Then in March 2022, Barney was at the doctor all day for testing. The day Barney was at the doctor all day, we found out the real reason why the boys could not be separated. While Barney was at the doctor, Fred had major separation anxiety. He was so confused and was looking for his brother all day. We then went to pick up Barney from the doctor as a family. Doing that seemed to help Fred know that his brother was okay. He was then diagnosed with kyphosis scoliosis. So then we decided to make sure Barney continued to get the best care. His doctor then suggested that Barney receive laser therapy treatments and chiropractic care. So we went ahead and started treatments, and he has had treatments ever since. Fred supports Barney by going to all of his appointments with him. Fred now joins Barney in receiving chiropractic care. We then decided it was time to make the house accessible for Barney and Fred. Since my husband and I are both paraeducators who work with students with disabilities, we knew that adaptations were needed for Barney to live a good quality life. His brother, Fred, enjoys the house being adapted as well. We have 2 ramps in the house, one to get up on the couch and one to get in their big bed. We also have a bench that they can use to look out the picture window. We have steps that they can use to get up and down. They love looking out the window and being neighborhood watchdogs. We also had the help from my uncle to design an outdoor ramp from our back porch deck to lead to the backyard. And this past spring, it was revamped by my mom, Mama Sharon. When we didn't have the ramp, we leashed the boys and walked them to the backyard. Since we had to walk down the steps and open a gate and had them have their outdoor time. Now they are independent and use the ramp daily. They sure are little torpedoes racing up and down the ramp to Dachshund Place backyard. Some of Barney and Fred's most loved adventures of mine are going to Yachty's Yummies, which is a local dog barkery. We love to support their small business since they employ people with disabilities. A portion of all proceeds at Yachty's Yummies helps pay for expensive medical treatments of dogs in shelters. We go to all of their events they put on for dogs. Our favorite events are Barco de Mayo, Barktoberfest, and pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus. I also love that my husband and I take them on road trip adventures. They have been to Branson, Missouri several times. This past September 2023, we took them on their first out-of-state trip to Tennessee. Since then, they have been on several out-of-state trips and adventures. Everywhere we go, Barney and Fred show off their cuteness and entertaining antics, and everyone tells us they sure love our dogs. My husband and I go on a lot of adventures with Barney and Fred around our city as well. Barney and Fred are local celebrities. They have been on local TV 7 times. They were on Fox 2 St. Louis as Poochercasters. They were featured on KMOV4 St. Louis 2 times. First, sharing a glimpse of their story finding a forever home with a photo. Secondly, they were featured in a photo in their new stroller going on a walk. They were featured on KSDK 5 St. Louis 3 times. They were Show Me St. Louis Pet of the Week. They were also featured as a Sammy Stars, and they were on TV on KSDK Plaza while Show Me St. Louis was airing. I love to say that I am their agent and get them their 15 minutes of fame. Barney and Fred have also been featured on Pet Supplies Plus, Warson Woods, Missouri Facebook page quite a few times. There are a lot more adventures I could talk about, but this is just a few highlights. Since my husband and I do not have children, we love to say Barney and Fred are our fur children. We would not know what we would do without them in our lives. Our whole family and friends love them, as well as their many fans who comment on their posts each and every day. Many of their fans tell us that it makes their day seeing Barney and Fred's adventures each and every day. I hope anyone who is listening and viewing this loves their story. And if anyone would love to follow their adventures, their Facebook page is called The Mini Adventures of Barney and Fred. Instagram handle is mini.advbarneyfred. TikTok is miniadvbarneyfred. YouTube channel is miniadvbarney and Fred. And I will be putting all of their social media accounts in the comments of this video. Thank you for letting me share their amazing story with you today. Yabba dabba doo!